free, and enjoy more of what the world has to offer. This action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch.
So a little one-person trampoline, very
I screen shared it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. So. Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Chair Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Good morning, everyone. It's all about personal development. Sorry, my camera's feeling a little sad this morning, apparently. Had to adjust it just for a second. And today's episode, we're going to be talking about ego. And kind of maybe to start with a definition to give it a little more context, because ego can be, it seems, a pretty complicated definition, and a bunch of different people have different definitions of it. This is a definition that I liked quite a bit. It's part of our psyche that defines our perception of who we are. It is the part of our psyche that defines our perception of who we are, how we see ourselves in relation to others, and how we navigate the world around us. I'm reading over on some of my notes. The ego is responsible for regulating our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, and helps us to maintain a sense of control and stability in our lives. So again, it is the part of our psyche that defines our perception of who we are. Ego is a complex psychological construct that refers to our sense of self-identity and self-importance. I think we've all heard of ego at some point or another. So I wanted to come on here and I wanted to give some examples of where my ego has gotten in the way and how it never helped me, and how I've come to peace with putting my ego aside to help find common ground with other people, seeing other ways that I can relate to people, seeing other ways how I can understand where their point of view is at, and having more empathy for them and less of my ego driving me of, I'm above this, I don't care, it doesn't matter to me, I've already been through that, I don't need to handle that. So we need to be careful with ego. So I'm going to go over 5 reasons why ego can get in the way, and just see how they apply to your own life. How can I sit here, and then when I'm conversing with somebody, next time I'm taking somebody on, I understand that the human experience is freaking incredible. It's insane that I'm even alive here today, and that everyone's just sharing this world, and it's not mine. I don't need to think about my damn self 24/7. I don't need to think about myself all the time to feel good about my life and the direction that I'm going. So again, let's go ahead. We're going to go to the board. We're going to talk a little bit about ego. Ego, 5 reasons why. I need a bigger piece of chalk. 5 reasons why ego can be a bad thing, and we're going to just go over some points on what those mean. So I got some of my notes over here. So overconfidence. Number 1, overconfidence. Overconfidence. Sometimes I was feeling overconfident with my skills and my abilities on what it is that I was doing, and my ego got in the way. I thought, okay, I went to college, I'm a pretty smart guy, or I have this going on. Being careful of your ego causing you to feel overconfident about something and feeling that you don't need to study the basics. I think everyone can benefit from the basics. Or I feel like I can jump the gun, being overconfident of how it's incredible. Tony Robbins has this quote that I really like about people underestimate what they can do. No, it's backwards. They overestimate what you can do in a year, and then you underestimate what you can do in a decade. And I did that multiple times. I did that with real estate. I'm doing that with coaching. I thought I'd be way farther. I thought I'd be way better than what I am right now, but I'm only a couple years into it. Versus when I'm now looking at the big picture of things, it's like, oh, wow, if I keep doing what I'm doing for an entire decade, I hopefully will be very surprised with how far we can take this coaching company, the education company, my real estate portfolio, my relationship with my wonderful girlfriend, like how how that all ties in together. So being careful of your ego, thinking you're being too overconfident. I need to be way farther than where I am right now. And that just builds up a bunch of anxiety in my stomach and riles me up. So being very careful of overconfidence to the point to where it alters our decision making in a bad way. So that's one reason why ego can be a little bit dangerous. Arrogance, number 2. Arrogance is something that definitely happened to me when it comes to ego. What did I put here in the notes? I thought I had something down there that I really liked. A strong ego can lead us to believe we're better than others. Yeah. So being careful of this one. This one is big time. When people are communicating with people who are, say, they're at a lower point in their lives. They don't have like particular hobbies that make a bunch of money. They're not particularly skilled at anything, or just whatever it may be. But believing that people are better than other people is bad. And it can make it very hard to feel empathy. Empathy is one of the greatest feelings that we can have for other people. Understanding that we share this world and that everyone's on different timelines in their own journey. Everyone has their own human experience. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in with us this morning. It's incredible to me how, like, I used to genuinely think like, oh, I don't need to do that. Like, I'm better than that. I don't need to mop floors. I don't need to do side little things. Like the stories and stuff that I've been dealing, like I was literally shoveling shit out of one of our rental properties, out of the basement, out of water. And I'm doing that. I used to believe that I was above that. Now I'm seeing the process of like, okay, me doing this is going to raise so much equity in fixing up properties and making them better and exchanging them for better properties and using that capital to get into partnerships. Like I see the process and I see how I got to pay my dues. I used to think like, oh, I'm way above that. I don't have to do that. I don't need to do that. So be very careful of your ego thinking like, oh, I'm above this person. I'm better than this person. You see this a lot in like politics and other garbage topics when people are diving in. Like someone has this belief, and so now I'm so arrogant. I don't believe that anything that they say is right. They're stupid. Nothing is good. All of it's trash. And then I am better than them. I can't even believe that they would consider thinking that. How could they? And then for completely forgetting the fact that we all started with no knowledge at all, and that we all kind of evolve and grow at different paces. So you can see how arrogance can be really dangerous and can make us our judgment and interactions with people bad energy and not good. So that is a second reason why I'm not the biggest fan of ego. Number 3, personal growth prevents personal growth. Prevents personal growth. Prevents personal growth. How do we grow as individuals? I think I had down here something about feedback and criticism. We may be resistant to feedback and criticism, yes. So when it comes to improving, we usually got to try something, screw up a little bit, get some feedback from other people. This was something that I was hesitant at first with, specifically the coaching company. I wasn't really scared to ask for help with real estate. Shout out to my family, my girlfriend, her family. They've helped me out a shitload with the rental property. So again, thank you very much. Didn't know what I was doing in a lot of ways, got a lot of help, continue to fix that. And then getting the feedback and the criticism, such as when the person came and put in a new furnace, he was like, oh, you didn't do this. Oh, you didn't have the pipes lined up like this way. Oh, you didn't bleed anything out. And I was like, I didn't know. But my ego could get in the way. And with real estate, that was fine. But for some reason, I was having a really hard time. And maybe you can hopefully relate this to your own situation, particular facets of your own life. With coaching, wasn't confident about what I was trying to say to people, how I was interacting with people. And so that made me kind of scared to be vulnerable. I'm like, okay, this, I know for a fact, my 6-week course, one-on-one with me, 7 private coaching sessions, 6 incredible topics to help you understand yourself at the highest level possible to live your dream life. Like now I'm saying it with more conviction, but at first, when I was trying to figure out the process, I was like scared to ask my friends and family for help because I was like, oh, people are going to think this is stupid. I'm not very good. Or is this kind of cheesy? Is it woo woo? And a lot of self-defeating thoughts and stuff like that. And because I was so scared to put out my message that I wasn't getting feedback and criticism. And without feedback and criticism, it makes it really hard to kind of change up your approach, get new, healthier perspectives, and then just grow as a person in general for that personal growth part. So being very careful of your ego getting in the way of your ability to personally grow, because we need other people. No man is an island, no woman is an island, whatever, right? We all need support in some capacity, and opening ourselves up and being vulnerable has been very helpful for me. So I wanted to share that point. Being careful, ego can get in the way of personal growth. Next is ego can lead to selfishness. Selfishness. Did I spell that right? Selfishness? Geez, excuse me. Nobody can spell anymore, and I'm one of them. Selfishness. Okay, no, I spelled it right. Cool. So selfishness is where we are focusing a little too much on ourselves. Being very careful of this because it's so easy to get wrapped up in my ego. Think about all of your thoughts and think about the negative ones for just a second. Are they usually about you? I'm not doing this right. I'm not doing this enough. I don't have this and I want this in my life. I thought I would be better than this by now. I keep screwing up. Every time I get a chance, I keep screwing up and just having all these, our ego gets fed by the negativity, by the self-doubt, by the criticism, by the judgment, by all these negative aspects going on in our crazy minds. And I've come to terms where if I'm not thinking so much about me, if I'm thinking about my purpose of helping other people, about having a stronger relationship with my family, having a stronger relationship with my girlfriend, having a stronger relationship with my friends, when I start thinking of ways of how I can help these people, how I can show up and be a better person, and I'm not thinking about me all the freaking time, then I have noticed that my ego can't get in the way nearly as much. So ego likes to drive selfishness. Your ego's like, nope, Taylor Witt, that's all we think about. We don't give a shit about nobody else, dude. You got priority number one. You are number one. And then really deep in my heart and fulfillment and all this stuff for feelings and emotions and all this crazy stuff I'm learning, it's like, wow, it's actually better to not focus on you all the time. And you're probably going to feel a hell of a lot better. Maybe you can give back to your community. Maybe immersion into doing something for other people and forcing ourselves to practice thinking about other people can help dissipate the ego and help us keep from just these continuous, just over and over and over again thoughts of negativity that go on that are based on selfishness. So being very careful because the ego can drive selfishness. One of the other notes, focusing solely on our own needs, desires, disregarding the needs and feelings of others. So yeah, getting in the way of empathy. If ego makes it really hard to be empathetic. So if we can remember that and kind of take that away from today, I think that could be very helpful. But being very careful, the ego can cause quite a bit of selfishness. And the last one would be selfishness kind of feeds into this, but it's so, I believe it to be very true. Negative emotions. Negative emotions. So negative emotions are what drive us to feel like shit. They make us feel not that great. Turns out, surprise, surprise. So being careful of these negative emotions. And when they come up, taking the time to pause and be like, whoa, emotion police here. What is really going on? And just pausing, breathing, taking a second, feeling, and understanding, is it a thought or is it a feeling? Is it a thought or is it a feeling? We need to do a whole episode on this stuff because it's crazy. Thought or feeling? Because chances are it's a negative thought that is driving the feeling. And the feeling feels bad. It feels painful. It causes our ego to rise. And he's like, no, we got to stop this. We got to get in the way of something. And then it's like, oh, well, maybe if you focused on yourself a little bit more, and maybe if you're an asshole who's giving you feedback, then we'd be better. And then it kind of just feeds the beast in itself. So negativity can feed this pretty dramatically. And being very careful of negative thoughts driving our emotions. Letting our emotions be in the driver's seat, pausing, just breathing, and feeling what is really going on here can be really, really helpful. I always prescribe, I'm not a doctor, I don't prescribe anything, but recommend what has really helped for me is meditating 1 minute a day. Just one, take the time, pause, feel, and then you can gain your new perspective. Or you can at least try and understand it and develop a relationship with it a little better. That the human experience is amazing. The fact that I'm awake and I'm alive, that I woke up this morning after I blacked out for 9 hours, and I'm here doing this today, helping people. It's like, holy cow, there's a lot going on here, and we're all working in this together, right? So negative emotions, be careful that the ego likes to feed off of this, likes to dump negative thoughts to rile up the emotions part, to rile up the feeling part of us. And the way that we can combat this is to pause, to take a moment, to breathe for just a second. So next time that comes up, try a breathing exercise where you're just literally sitting there. You're focusing on the air coming into your nose. Hold a couple seconds. Beautiful exhale, not letting the thoughts come in, or let the thoughts, like a car on a highway, it comes and it goes. A car on a highway, the thought, it comes and it goes. I've always found that helpful. So be very careful of these negative emotions, these negative thoughts driven from the ego. Ego drives these negative thoughts, thus creating negative emotions, thus creating bad feelings. So we can see where the source is at, and we can become more comfortable with ourselves. So let's go ahead. We're going to do a quick 60-second wrap up just for my social media guy. Okay, ego. Egos can be very bad in the sense that they cause us to be so overconfident that we're above things. Same with arrogance. I'm above other people, to preventing personal growth because I can't take any feedback or criticism from anyone without blowing my top off. Selfishness, the ego wants to focus only on me, when I know I get all of my fulfillment from helping other people. And then also the ego feeds negative thoughts to create negative emotions, to create negative feelings, and this can be a recipe for pain and suffering. So being very careful and understanding the source of this and pausing and taking the time to breathe. Okay, fantastic, awesome. All righty, friends, family, clients, people who I hope to inspire in some way. I hope this was helpful to kind of get a better grip on this ego stuff. I know it can be weird, crazy, hard, confusing. So taking the time to better understand it and just getting started with it, right? We definitely don't need all of the answers, nor do I want all of the answers, because I understand that Aristotle had it right. The pursuit of knowledge is like the greatest feeling in the world. And I truly believe that continuing to evolve and grow is my purpose. So I'm excited to keep diving into this. I hope you guys continue to look into this as well. be careful of this when it comes up in your work. Just raising self-awareness is always the best step when it comes to ego, and then kind of avoiding some of these things that we talked about today. If you want to work with me one-on-one directly, I offer a 6-week course where we have 7 sessions together. We go over 6 fundamental topics for our lives. We're really able to understand who we are, where we're trying to go, what we represent. So if you want to be a better you, send me a direct message about my 6-week life mastery course. Other than that, to do the long-term life coaching, you have to complete the course because you need a base for us to work on. So, but the 6-week course is available, up and running now. Other than that, make sure to check in with us. Again, episode 250 will be live tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. live. And I'm excited. This weekend, I get to go to a baseball game. I get to go to Milwaukee, see one of my best friends. So I'm pretty pumped about it. Keep staying excited, everyone. And it's going to be a good rest of the week. Enjoy your Thursday. I have a meeting here in 5 minutes, so I need to get the hell off of here. But you guys have an incredible day. Cheers. Incredible Thursday to you all. And I'll see you all in the next episode at 7 a.m. live with another episode of the Talk to Aaron Morning Show. Episode 249, Why Ego is Bad. I'm out. Have a good one, everyone. Cheers, friends. Peace.